Hello, welcome to Recall Gaming Exploits, and E3 has come to a close. Just to let you know, I will be trying to get a few of my buddies together to do a sort of, I don't know, a little chat about E3, on our opinions on things, what we're excited for, just a general like chinwag, I don't know, and I'm going to upload it because you guys might like it. I don't know, there might be some interesting stuff said, but I'm hoping to get a few of the people from the PC era, and hopefully Gunnar from the console era of this channel will be coming back and making an appearance to share his opinion. So you get some PC only guys, a console only guy, and me, who's had a bit of time on both sides of the fence. So should be kind of interesting. But anyway, what I just want to talk about today is Final Fantasy VII. Now obviously they finally announced a remake. It's been nearly 20 years so that since the game came out, so people have been asking for about 15 of those years for a remake, because it's one of those games. It didn't age well, it didn't look very good at the time. The cutscenes looked amazing at the time, but the gameplay itself, except for the battle scenes, looked absolutely terrible. I don't know, maybe it's just me where I played it maybe a year or two late, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I played it in the first year of launch. I don't know. I can't remember that far back, clearly. I remember the game meticulously because I've completed it more times than I care to admit. Because I think if I actually knew how many times I'd played through that game, it would be embarrassing. But, yeah, I mean, I'm obviously very excited. I don't really talk about Final Fantasy that much, especially 7, because I'm not a fan of the series necessarily. I don't really like 8, 9, 10... I can't stand 10 actually, or any of the others, and the older ones I never really got the chance to play. I've only ever really enjoyed 7, which is a weird little anomaly. I don't know why that is, but I've only ever really enjoyed 7. It might have just been like the universe, like the settings. I think the whole Plate City thing above the slums really sort of spoke to me at the time, or I don't know, I just really liked the sort of dark aesthetic to it throughout a lot of the game. And the music is incredible, and I still enjoy the music, even though it's really outmoded and outdated now. It sounds really, really bad compared to the kind of soundtracks that we're used to hearing in games nowadays. Obviously, nearly 20 years will do that to a game. But anyway, you see in the gameplay now, I got Final Fantasy VII for the PC. Now, fuck me, was that an arse ache. Well, it had DRM on it, so you only have to log in once to Square Enix servers. Once you log in once, registered, you own the game, it's fine, you can play as much as you like after that, and you don't have to be online. But, because thousands of people got the Final Fantasy hype that I did, and then it came on sale, on the Steam sale, for like half price or more, something like this. That game has been on my wishlist for a while, and it has never gone on sale, so I've never even looked at buying it. So, like me, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people all bought the game at the same time, and the servers got rammed. And obviously, with it being DRM, we had a SimCity sort of scenario going on where it crashed the servers, and no one could actually log in to Square Enix, so they could play their newly bought game. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. I mean, this DRM needs to be abolished, as well as a few other things. Microtransactions, for one, can fuck off. And as far as I'm concerned, exclusive pre-order bonuses, oh my god, murder them now. They need to go. I mean, Batman Arkham Knight, I'm getting that soon, Batman Arkham Knight. But I would like to play the Red Hood story missions. But I can only get the Red Hood story missions if I pre-order on the PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation, so I don't get it. And obviously then there's the whole, if you pre-order from Amazon or GameStop, one of the two, then you get a sort of prototype Batmobile that other people don't get. It's like, fuck you. I just want to buy my game, and I just want to play my game. I don't want DRM to crash out, stopping me from playing the game when I bought it, and I don't, like, I've paid the money, I've bought it legitimately, and you're not letting me play it, because some people might be pirates. Fuck off. Right, you're just punishing your fan base, because the pirates will get past the DRM. It's been proven every time a game has came out of DRM, the pirates have gone, yeah, we've modded it and removed the need for DRM. It doesn't. They did it with SimCity, for fuck's sake. But anyway, off topic slightly. Final Fantasy VII. Let's get back on topic. Final Fantasy VII. What I would like in the game. Well, really more what I wouldn't like them to change. I mean, there's a lot of things that are really quirky with the game. I mean, dodgy translations being one of them. But with that being said, I mean, voice acting. Voice acting's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's a lot of dialogue, but they're gonna do it. Problem with that is, I mean, certain characters are just not gonna sound right. Every Final Fantasy game I've played with voice acting, I think it started at Final Fantasy X. They started with voice acting. They're really over-Americanized voices, and it's almost, you know, sort of stereotypical 90s cartoon. Like if you watch Sonic the Hedgehog the 90s cartoon, oh my god, it's like that kind of voice. It really grates on me, and it would kind of ruin the characters. I mean, I can't take characters seriously if they're going, alright! Do you see what I mean? And Barrett's going to need a full rewrite, unfortunately, unless they literally get Mr. T to do the fucking lines, because he was literally Mr. T with a gun in his arm. That's Barrett's character. That's the way he's talked in everyone's head. If I'm wrong about that, I'll be shocked, but I swear that everyone over on this side of the globe heard Mr. T. Just what I think anyway. But like Yuffie and Vincent, I mean, like those optional characters, they still going to be optional characters. I'd like them to still be optional characters. I like that. I like the fact that you had to earn characters. You had to learn how to unlock these characters, and the same goes for like the Chocobos. Now, I've never been one for the Chocobo raising, but that's just me. I know that a lot of people love it. So, really, on the whole, I think that obviously the Chocobo raising and training, gold Chocobos, blue Chocobos, green Chocobos, all the Chocobos under the sun, need to stay in the game, frankly. But I mean, this is the weird thing. Like when you think about the game in itself, you've got submarine exploration, land exploration, you've got over mountains, all sorts. And nowadays, the whole abstract world map thing that they had going on back then, and with classic RPGs before it, doesn't really work now. You can't just have sort of like this is a town icon and then like load up a town. It don't work like that anymore. Every RPG, like every open world, is literally you walk from A to B. So what they're going to do, they're going to have you literally walking A to B and render a whole world map. Because I mean, Final Fantasy literally takes place across the entirety of the globe, and this is the thing, you literally travel the entirety of the world map. You go to every island, well, except from like Cactuar Island. That's sort of an optional island, if you want to get Tetra Elemental. And that brings me on to another thing. Are they going to keep the same weapon system, and item system, and armor system, like your bracelets? And then, I mean, is materia going to work the same? Because I really want the combat to stay how it was. Because, I mean, there's no point making a remake of a classic game if you're going to totally change everything that made that game great. And one of the things that made that game great is the fact that it was sort of turn-based combat. But it weren't turn-based combat. There was sort of a real-time element to it. But one of the things that's always bugged me about later Final Fantasies is a lot of the systems, to me, don't make sense. And you do have to sit there and read a monumental shit ton of like dialogue, like tutorials, hexed, to be able to even understand the basics. The thing that I liked about Final Fantasy VII when I first played it was didn't really need that much explaining. You could get a full-on explanation, but I mean, yeah, you just sort of oh look, I could buy like fire material. If I equip that onto someone, then he's going to be able to do a fire attack. The basics of it is just, you know, just easy to learn. But if you wanted to get really masterful and use mime and stuff like that to get like quad slash over and over and over again and do tons and tons and tons of damage, for the later bosses, mainly the weapons and stuff, like if you want to get Knights of the Round Table getting mimicked by everyone, then you know, you can really delve real deep into it. But you don't actually have to. You can play the game from start to finish and not know any of that. I know, I did. Like, I've only ever got like Knights of the Round Table like once or twice because I never bothered. I just love the story. I love playing through the story. And this is another thing. Sorry, taking a sip of my drink. So I mean, the story may change a little bit. They may delve deeper into the backstory a bit of each character, and they might be able to flesh them out a bit more. That will be interesting. I'd like to see that, but at the same time, I really don't want too much of the story changed, because I love the story. But at the same time, there's a lot of really weird, quirky shit going on. I mean, at one point, your main quest is to run up and down this market town and just gain items like dresses and wigs, and you got to dress up as a woman and try to convince this guy who's trying to look for a wife. It's really just really weird story going on. that you're a girl. I mean, if you fail, the story continues regardless, but that's something you do in the game. Is that something they're going to keep? I don't know. There's a lot of weird things. There's a monumental fuck ton of weird things. It's a weird game when you get down to it. But I don't know, I'm just really buzzed. I'm really excited. I would really like to see how they're going to deal with the world map, and then like, are they going to keep the submarine exploration? Are they going to have all 3 weapons like they have in the PAL and American version of the game, or are they going to have 1 weapon like they do in the Japanese version of the game? Are they going to bring in the long sought after and seeked myth that was Ares Resurrection? Because when the game first came out, I remember people saying to me, oh yeah, apparently in the Japanese one you can bring Ares back to life. I'm not going to say spoiler warning. If you don't know it, then you haven't played the game, and if you haven't played the game, then fuck off. But like, yeah, one of the main characters dies, obviously, Ares, or Erif, depending on where you're from. There was a sort of, that's another translation cock up. It's her name is Erif, the flower girl, but over in PAL section, which is like Europe and stuff, she was called Ares. So I've always called her Ares, and much to the fucking displeasure of a lot of the fans of the series. Man, the amount of times I've been corrected on that one, just, well, I generally don't speak about. But yeah, there was so many different rumours about how to resurrect her. Will they implement some form of Erif or Ares resurrection? That would be interesting. I'd like to see more of Vincent as well, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting ride. Apparently, I've been developing it in secret for a while now. Like back in December when they announced the Final Fantasy VII port from PC to PS4. So those of you that are going to, like, they have been looking at this for the PS4, this is what it looks like. I know that a lot of people are, oh, why the fuck are you buying the old one, or even looking at buying the old one? Who cares? Well, to be honest, right, I played the old one when I was a kid, and it's nice to have that bit of history there. It's a nostalgia thing. The fact is, the remake is not going to be the same, because if it was the same, it would be ripped to shit today. It's still a great game, but like, if it was to be judged as a modern day game, it would get trounced. It would be slammed by critics and reviewers. I think the fact is, if they make the game identical to what it was back then, it's just not gonna be a great game. I mean, I'll love it if they didn't change a thing and it was just updated graphics. I'd love it personally, but I know a lot of people would be disappointed, like really disappointed. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting time. I reckon that we're probably looking at a year at least until they decide to launch it. It'll probably be 2, to be fair. I reckon that we'll be waiting at least 2 years until this game launches. So it's a long wait. But yeah, thank you for watching Recall Gaming Exploits. Join us again for that E3 chat. That's going to come up sometime soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, it's not fully confirmed yet. Yeah, Dirt Stuff the Channel to do, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.